welcome to the van. Here we are. It's cold. The van is cold, the kind of cold that I was trying to escape by living in a van. But here we are. It's taking time to install everything. One of the things that was giving me a lot of stress about this whole van build process is how to affix things to the van. When I install something, how do I bolt it down so that it stays secure? Turns out there's a bunch of options, but basically you start with the frame of the van itself. It has these ribs that go up and down and then across, and they have holes in them. This here is insulation. The wall panel's been taken down, so what we see is the insulation and the frame of the van. Turns out we have a few options. So one way that you can attach things is just by screwing right into the metal frame. So the previous owner, she attached the wall panels just by taking wood screws and metal screws and just drilling and screwing straight into the frame. Here, here, and here. And that's a pretty common thing that people do on, there's one up there. Pretty common thing that people do on YouTube. Another thing you can use is a well nut. This is a well nut here, so it's a rubber gaskety type thing, but it has a brass nut on the back. So what you do is you would take this and place it into, here's one of the hexagonal holes here. You place it in like that, and it sits tight. And then when you take a bolt like this guy of the proper size, and you screw it in all the way. Once you're in there all the way, what happens is that nut gets pulled towards you as the bolt goes into the wall, and it squeezes the rubber, and then the rubber forms a seal on either side of the metal. So actually what you have is a mostly waterproof seal that until the rubber really starts to decay, it's actually removable. You can actually pull the bolt back out. Lastly, we can use Riv Nuts or Rivet Nuts. So this is the same kind of thing, same kind of shape. This end, the wide end, will sit on the outside of the wall, and then the inner part here is threaded, and then this ripply, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, it doesn't matter. This part of the nut, when you start to tighten the bolt, will actually collapse, and suddenly you'll have the metal frame will be sandwiched between this part and this part. So here we are with the rivet nut actually attached to its tool, and what we do is, so this is a dirty little back corner of the van. Please ignore the dirt. It's all going to be cleaned up before I actually live in it. So here's a hole that we don't mind having a nut inside of, and what I'm going to do, gosh, I only have two hands, that's so frustrating. What I'm going to do is close this clamp, and it will pull the back of the nut forward until we have surrounded the frame here. Be right back. Okay, so it's 5 seconds later. I gave the handles a squeeze. They have plenty of leverage, and now the rivet nut has collapsed, and I can unscrew the tool here. Just give that a second. It's almost there. We're almost there. We can do this. Please, we can do this. Can just one thing go right? Okay. There we go. So now what we have is a bolt hole that is permanently in the van. There is, without some kind of metal saw, we're not taking that off. So that is a permanent threaded hole in the van that we can bolt whatever we want to it. You know what? I'm tempted to bolt something to it right now. So that's me in this winter wonderland. I got my tool. I got a van full of holes. I got a hole filler. You know what comes next.